Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the long wait there. I got a bit tied up. I was kind of rushing home because church went on just a little bit longer today. So I was kind of rushing home just a bit safely. So rushing safely. And then I had to feed the boys and then do a whole bunch of other stuff. So I had to take care of that. So thank you all. Thank you all for being so patient with me. You didn't have to, but I just greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Well, first off, let's acknowledge everyone in chat first. Yo, peoples! Qushu92 here. Welcome back to what? The devil tried to attack me as I was trying to say everyone's names. The devil is busy, but he ain't gonna get me. But ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see everyone. Let me see. It's good to see Ogata. It's good to see Hybrid. It's good to see Kohagen. It's good to see Ravi. It's good to see Holster. It's good to see Anime Juke and Julian. King Julian on your case, man. It is good to see all of you. Let's go ahead and get started with today's chapter because last chapter we got Oda said, "Oh, you want some rocks? Let me throw some rocks at you. Let me just go ahead and get a handful and just throw some rocks at you because we officially got the reveal of Rox D. Zebek. Before he became the captain of the Rox Pirates, mind you, after killing an admiral at a reverie, and also revealing that he's the father of Blackbeard." So hold on, let me see this. The connection might be a little bit funny in a second because the cable came out just a little bit and I want to make sure that it's fully connected so that the stream is stable. All right, we're good. But yeah, we just found out that Rox with Whitebeard and Shiki and what appears to be Stussy, yeah, he just shows up on Elbaf trying to find Harold, and we learn that he's the father of Blackbeard. We can no longer look at the fights of Ace and Blackbeard anymore the same. The son of the king of the pirates versus the son of his rival. That is where we're at in the world of One Piece. But let's get down to it. You all know why you're here. Ooh, it's a color cover page. And it's just a Straw Hat crew traveling on a massive high-rise using ladders to get from one side to the next. And pretty much the only person who's having trouble doing all of this is, well, not trouble doing all of this. The only people who are having some difficulty going across a ladder that spans across entire rooftops. Just literally an unguarded ladder. Just think Death Stranding and you're just walking across it. But the only people who are having trouble with this is Usopp and Nami, while Usopp is holding on to Luffy and Nami is holding on to Jinbei. Sanji's all like, "Nami, I'll take you over." And then Robin and Chopper are always close by. You know, like older sister and little brother. Frankie's over in one section. Brooke is playing some music. Zoro's just looking on as usual. Yeah, we got the whole crew in this. Also, I'm just now noticing that some of these... Wait. Are these penguins? Are these flying penguins? These penguins are flying. And some of them look like they're kind of patterned off of the Straw Hat crew. One looks like it has like spiky green hair. Another one looks like it has like Chopper's cap on. Or at least that's just how it looks to me just a little bit. But yeah, we got flying penguins in this color page. Let's continue. Chapter 1155. Oh! Chapter 1155, The Rox Pirates. Are we about to witness when the Rox Pirates were formed? So, because the thing is, Rox asked Loki, hey, 2 questions. Where's Harold, and is this Elbaf? So, get my throat clear, because I want to do all of this. Loki answers him after the end of the last chapter.
"Yeah, this is Elbaf, but my dad ain't here. He's on an expedition." "Are you puny humans? I've never seen you crying before. You really do scurry around."
Ha 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 ha! Aw, you're adorable. Wait, did you say Dad? Are you Harold's kid? Even on an expedition, you can still get in touch with him. What's your name?
Loki.
Okay, Loki, you're gonna do as I say. Go back home right now and get someone to contact your old man. Here's the message you tell them to pass on. Loki is gravely wounded. Return to Elbaf at once.
He literally just said, tell your dad that you've been harmed.
Huh? Since when do I have to listen to what you humans have to say? Plus, it's not like Dad would come back just because I got hurt. Stop ordering me around, you little weakling!
And then Rox takes out his sword. It looks like it's got lightning on it. It's got that trademark black lightning on it. And there's narration as he goes to hit Loki.
Rox's sword attacks were famous for blasting everything in sight, like a gigantic hammer or cannonball.
Oh, what? What? He hits Loki and hurts him, and then we get Rox's laugh.
There, what'd I just say?
Blackbeard's laugh. Rox's laugh.
There, what'd I just say? Loki's gone and gotten wounded.
I want to kind of make him sound like a little bit like his son, like father, like son. So they both kind of have the same accents. Though I will say I want to have Blackbeard's voice just a little bit thicker.
Just a moment at the reverie, the revolutionary armor assaulted Sacred Marigewa to rescue Kuma.
But with Rox, I want it to be just like
Slightly more, just a little bit less thick, if you know what I mean. There, what'd I just say? Loki's gone and gotten wounded.
This madman had crossed Harold's path at the Reverie 1 year.
And then it goes, 5 kings have been attacked and captured. It's an abduction. They were taken by a large man dressed in black. And then Emu. And then, oh my God! And then Emu goes,
The lives of kings are no threat to Mu.
Rox is in Emu's room. You know the giant garden? The giant garden? He's in there, gun in hand.
The lives of kings are no threat to Mu.
I suppose not, but your Holy Land is in a panic.
In a historical anomaly never repeated before or since, someone infiltrated the Chamber of Flowers at the very core of the Holy Land.
So Emu is there, and then we have another person who's in this room with Emu. It's a woman who has like a veil over her head and over her face, and she has one regular looking eye and one eye that looks off-colored. Heterochromia? Interesting. Rox is in here with the king of the world. What?
The man described himself as a worshipper of Davy Jones. He did not do anything more than this, as he knew he could not. But before he departed, he left a warning.
And then Rox threatens Emu and goes,
I will be back, right here.
hold on. The man described himself as a worshiper of Davy Jones? Let no joyful voice be heard. Let no man look up at the sky with hope. And let this day be cursed by we who ready to wake the Kraken. Not Bill Nye's Davy Jones, but a worshiper of Davy Jones?
He did not do anything more than this, as he knew he could not. But before he departed, he left a warning.
I will be back, right here.
Naturally, word of this incident never saw the light of day. But as it happened, one other man infiltrated the Holy Land at the same time.
Look at him! He's far bigger than a giant!
I desire him for a slave.
No, he should be killed and stuffed for display. Guards, protect your lieges!
It's Harold! And he's just running through Marijois, apparently on fire!
Halt! Fine, the talks are off! I apologize for trespassing, but is this really necessary?
Don't let the king abductor get away!
No, that wasn't me!
The admiral's been defeated! His attacker went to the palace! Be wary! And it shows Rox seeing Harold.
Huh? What is all of this hubbub about?
Bring me the big one!
He must be the one who kidnapped the kings. I'm not going to be the fool guy. I'll seize a man.
And then it cuts to Rox.
A giant?
Wait a minute. Is Rox bleeding? Or is that just a strand of hair in front of his face? Is he bleeding? Is he bleeding? Hold on, I'm trying to get a good look at Rox's face here in this panel.
A giant in the Holy Land? Is this guy lost or something?
And then both Harold and Rox clash. They both clash with each other, and their swords are clashing against each other. Their swords are clashing. And we see, and I guess they're either Rox is using hockey or Harold is using hockey. I'm not just going to jump to conclusions and say that they're both using conquerors right now, because that's so easy to do nowadays. But we get that clash of hockey, and they're both staring each other down.
This clash between strangers eradicated any sign of others for 5 kilometers around.
Their clash wiped out the entire area, everything within a 5-kilometer radius? They clashed with each other, and the shockwave cleared out everyone. And then Rox is laughing.
Name yourself. But, I am Harold. I'm Rox. Aim at the next town with the next blow. If they capture us, they'll turn you into a slave. What? Hey! Don't think. Just do it.
And they plan their own escape to get out of Marijois. I'm really trying to get a good look at Rox to see if he has blood on his face after he returned from Emu. I don't really see it. I think it just may be the way his face looks. But he apparently left Emu, and he clashed with Harold.
Don't think. Just do it.
Ah!
Which way is Elbaf? The New World's...
Oh, wait, who's saying that?
The New World's that way.
Oh, wait.
Which way is Elbaf? The New World's that way. If you survive, let's meet again, Harold. Never! I don't consort with villains. What? You jumped off?
And Harold jumps off of the red line. Oh, Oda, you are cooking. 'Cause we get more stuff.
What? You jumped off?
The Navy admiral that Rox had just struck down perished of his wounds despite emergency measures. After his many crimes of the day, Rox's name was launched into infamy, and his deeds stunned the rest of the world.
And we see Rox's wanted poster, but we don't see how many berries is under his name. But we see his face on there, and he's got his tongue sticking out, and he's got his hands up in front. Wow! I wonder if his wanted poster is kind of similar to Blackbeard's. We'll look into it after we're done here.
Sometime later,
And it looks like a Navy ship is being attacked.
he attacked a ship laden with heavenly tributes en route to sacred Marijois. Not only that, he destroyed the Gate of Justice and fled once again.
He destroyed the Gate of Justice? So that means that the Gate of Justice that we saw between the waters and Impel Down, Rox had destroyed it, and they had to repair it. He destroyed the Gates of Justice. He destroyed the Gates of Justice.
Not only that, he destroyed the Gate of Justice and fled once again. With this ship and money as an initial base to work from, Rox dove into the pirating business. His activities were always hostile towards the government, but his first target was actually another pirate ship.
Whose ship is that? I'm trying to see whose ship that is.
In the pirating world, there had long existed a famous and merciless game played between crews. The Davy Backfight consisted...
Oh, snap. They're bringing back the Davy Backfight. What? I know a certain someone who doesn't like the Davy Back arc. Oda has made it relevant again.
In the pirating world, there had long existed a famous and merciless game played between crews. The Davy Backfight consisted of various competitions in which pirates gambled the fate of crewmates and flags. Rox made good use of this game to assemble a very solid lineup for himself.
So here we have Stussy, we have Whitebeard, and we have Shiki. Did he win these crew people from the Davy Backfights?
At this point, his motley crew of miscreants flew no flag.
They've got someone amazing. You guys are gonna be shocked.
And that was then...
That's it.
That was when they arrived at Elbaf. Aura's Castle. Elbaf.
And then it cuts back to Harold, who goes,
I hurried back as soon as I could, but you're already nearly healed up. What a relief. I know you're a very strong boy, Loki, but you should stay away from the underworld.
And mind you, Loki's not saying anything.
You're lucky you only fell from a cliff this time. There are plenty of other dangers that could befall you there.
And then Loki's silently thinking to himself,
I can't believe Dad actually came back. That was just a coincidence, right? He wouldn't come back to see me.
And then it comes back to Harold speaking to everyone else.
Rox, I heard about your exploits. What are you doing here? I've been dying to see you, pal. You should join me, Harold. The world government's not gonna hear you out anyway. Didn't you learn that lesson last time? Nonsense. The day I team up with a band of infamous rogues like you is the day our allies lose all faith in us.
And then we have Shiki going, gee, appreciate the feast. And we got numerous people on this crew of Rox. Some dude who's smoking in the background, dressed up like he's a mafia member, and some other dude with like flower patterned pants who has almost as many chins as Red King, just chowing down on food. Stussy is just going,
he's huge.
And Whitebeard just chugging a big old gourd of sake.
So that's the king of Elbaf. What? So you'd rather be...
Oh, let me go back to what Harold and Rox were saying.
Nonsense! The day I team up with a band of infamous rogues like you is the day all allies lose all faith in us. What, so you'd rather be crowned beneath the world government's heel? I'm looking for a way to avoid that.
Oh, wait.
I'm looking for a way to avoid that. We ought to be equals, every one of us. Now you're talking nonsense, Harold. Elbaf is a nation of almighty warriors. Anything you don't like, you can just smash to bits. That's ancient history. Elbaf is changing. People's nature doesn't even change. I know that fighting blood in your veins is bubbling over.
And then while they're arguing, Whitebeard just goes,
can't we at least eat in peace? If you people follow this man, only disaster awaits you.
And then Harold is looking at Whitebeard while he's saying this. And then we get Shiki. Follow this fool. Don't make me laugh. We're all individuals. If Rox dies, it won't affect the rest of us in the least. Mobster Shiki, future Golden Lion.
That's true, but his plan is very appealing to me. We're set to make a killing.
Science robber, Miss Buckin, Buckingham Stussy.
You know about Full Lead, that island of exiles? They call it Pirate Island. They ship out all the hardened criminals there that countries can't handle in their own prisons.
Gangster of, I knew he was a gangster. Gangster of the West Blue, Don Marlin.
It was supposed to be a deserted island without food, where the darned simply wait to die, where the doomed simply wait to die.
Pirate Edward Newgate. He's Edward Newgate at this time. Future Whitebeard.
But in recent years, they've survived and built up a settlement there. How do you think that happened?
Pirate Guru Wang Ji, future Commodore of Pirate Island. The person Blackbeard and Law would clash against that would make Law a Shichibukai and also allow Blackbeard to take over the entire... no, wait, I'm thinking of Rocky Port. Sorry. I had to correct that. No, Wang Ji used to run Pirate Island until Blackbeard came along. A member of Rox's crew got done in by Rox's own son. I had to correct myself. It wasn't Pirate Island Full of Lead with Law there. It was the Rocky Port incident with Kobe as well. I had to correct myself before anyone corrected me. Sorry about that. Pirate Guru Wang Ji, future Commodore of Pirate Island.
It turns out there's a gold lode under that island. When the criminal underworld found out, they rushed to help mine it, and the prisoners made themselves a fortune. The government's seeing red.
Pirate Smuggler Ganzui. Very big dude, and he's just chowing down, spitting out food. He's a very sloppy eater. Pirate Smuggler Ganzui. Then we get back to Rox.
That island's crawling with vicious brigands. Get anywhere near it and they'll rob you blind. So we made a deal with the government. I says to them, if we get that island back, how much will you give us? If they're willing to pay us, sure, we'll go raid Pirate Island and split the treasure between us. But we ain't giving the government island we ain't giving the government the island or the prisoners. I'm gonna rule over Full of Lead, and I'll get the idiots who live there to help me build a pirate's paradise.
Whitebeard is fulfilling what his father wanted to do. I mean, Blackbeard. Sorry, Blackbeard. Sorry, I've just been saying Whitebeard so often. I got the two mixed up. Please forgive me. Blackbeard is fulfilling what his father wanted to do.
Can't you just see the dumbfounded looks on the government and Navy's faces? This is just the prologue to my life. With that island as my base, I'll wipe out the Navy and bring the Holy Land to its knees. And in the end, I'll be the king of the world.
And then Harold chimes in.
You're making an enemy out of the entire world. It's too much to handle. Go ahead and doubt me. Sooner or later, someone's gonna do it. There's no authority in the world that lasts forever. Let's go, Harold. If we team up, we're unstoppable. Save your breath, I'm a king. You think I care? Let's go and take over the world.
And then Loki is just thinking to himself with tears in his eyes underneath his bandages, going,
The world.
And the next thing Loki knew, his outlook on life had been saved. 4 years later, after Harold ignored repeated invitations, Rox finally carried out his plan. The formidable lineup that joined him caused the world to quake with fear.
Let's get going, boys!
And the last thing we see is Rox officially flying his pirate flag. Bro. Wow. So here's my thing. Looking at this chapter, Wang Ji got a forked tongue coming out of his mouth, eerily similar to caribou. Is Wang Ji related to caribou? Because you don't see many people sticking their tongues out that way. Wow. Okay, so now let me go back to what you guys have said. Let me go back. Let me go back to you guys. Let's see. Rocky Port is on Pirate Island, I thought. Was it? Was it? So was I right? Was I right? Yeah, was I right? Sorry, it's been a minute. Yeah, so was I right saying Rocky Port? Okay. All right, cool. Let's see. Somebody in chat don't like the Davy back fight. Yeah, someone doesn't like it. I always figured Rocks used the Davy back fights for crews at Hachinosu. Fox's arc is now the most important arc on One Piece. That certain someone doesn't care. He will still hate Foxy. Yeah. Great. Now, long ring, long land is important. Davy back fight. Do I see the boxing Foxy did with Luffy? Don't forget, there is multiple gates. Yeah, there's multiple gates. Yeah, this chapter was insane. Let's see, that makes more sense. I love the parallels of Harold jumping off the red line and Loki jumping into the underworld. I wonder if the underworld is the same distance as the height of the red line. That's actually a very good question. Because if that's the case, then Harold wouldn't be too unfamiliar with the height. More Rocks Pirates members, probably why Loki could climb out the underworld as a baby. It's crazy that every time this crew appears, they introduce someone new. Yeah. Oda trolling the readers. Oh, so you think the Davy back fight was dumb? Oh, did you skip Foxy's arc because you found it irrelevant? Uh-huh. I had to refresh my page 1 minute there because it was flickering with a wheel there. I had to double check that. Let's see. Let me see. Where is it? Let's see. I think the red line is 10,000 meters high. People seem to get confused. Rocks is his pirate epithet. His name is Rox D Zebek. It's ROX. It's ROX? I thought it was just like actual rocks. Like ROCKS. It says ROX formally. So wait. Did he change his name? Hold on. Because I don't remember it being ROX when it was revealed who he was. Yeah, I don't think his name was... I don't think it said ROX when he was first revealed, so sorry if I missed that. And we still haven't seen Silver Axe yet. So, in Australia, Capone upscale. Wonder if Marlin has any relation to Sai and Chinjiao. Bedge's dad. Ooh, that'd be funny if Don Marlin was a father of Capone Gang Beji. That's from the surface of the sea to Fishman Island. From the top to the sea surface, I don't think, maybe another 10,000 meters. And Kobe, Rocky Port, Wang Ji. So this is the face of the guy, Kobe, Blackbeard, and Law in the Rocky Port incident. Okay, so I was right. It was the Rocky Port incident. I don't know why I second-guessed myself. I guess I was right ahead of time. But yeah, he looks eerily like Caribou. Ganzui is that dude from Thriller Bark. Look at his long beard. Wait, is it? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, snap, he is! Zombie number 889 as a general zombie. Yes, that's him! He had what looks to be like the elephant body. His body was clad in armor. He had a big old shield, a big old sword, and his armor was golden, and he had the super long beard. That was him! We were teased Rock's members so early on. That was him.
Yeah. I told you, Qushu, what if Blackbeard is carrying Rox's mission? Caribou's potential conquerors, since Rox's crew was full of them. It can skip a generation. Given that it's Caribou, it can skip a generation. I'ma just say that. But if Caribou's dad was defected by Blackbeard, then why he serve him? I don't know what you mean. Defested? Defested? Is that a word? That's new. Final villain in Emu's a BB victim? I don't know. Seems like the warrior with Axe 2, too many Rocks members in the zombie army that I wouldn't be surprised if it really is him. That's when Saturn was touched back on Egghead. Remember what I said? What if Blackbeard is carrying Rock's mission when they stole the food from celestial dragons? But why is Caribou Surf a guy defeated his dad? Why Caribou serves a guy who defeated his dad? Blackbeard didn't defeat Ganzui, or I mean Wangji. Hold on, sorry. I had a massive brain fart there. But why Caribou serve a guy who defeated his dad? Why wouldn't you serve someone who's stronger than you? Caribou has always been known to, kind of kowtow to those who are clearly stronger than him. Caribou is not strong. That's a bit of a silly question. Why would he serve someone that beat his father? Why would you go up against someone who beat your father? Yeah, it's just like Ozzy said. He's a lackey. Caribou is not someone that commands respect in the pirating world. He's someone who knows that anyone who's strong, he'll try and needle up towards them and try to get close to him, because he did the same thing to Luffy in Udon back in Wano. He knew Luffy had prestige. He knew Luffy was strong, so he tried to get all buddy up to him. Nay, could you give me some Kibidango, please? That's Caribou's nature. So, of course, anything to getting good with some of the most powerful pirates in the world, because Caribou, while he is a Logia type, he's been beaten by numerous people. Peckhams. He's been confined by Frankie of all people. Like, Frankie! Someone who we've never seen use hockey or anything else just casually saw Caribou hiding in a barrel and was all like, you're gonna be a problem. So let me just seal you inside this barrel. And Caribou could do nothing about it. Caribou's a lackey. He's not a leader, he's a lackey. Plus, he's a massive Blackbeard fanboy. Let me go back to what you guys said. There's no way we see the God Valley fight next chapter, because this was 40 years ago, apparently 2 years before God Valley. The anime had it as Rocks in episode 887, then Rocks in episode 958, and changed it to Rocks in episode 1014, but I prefer Rocks. I prefer ROCKS. I prefer that. So West Blue has 5 gang families. Capone and now Marlin are 2 of them. There are 3 Rocks members in the zombie army, by the way, and who knows how many more. Exactly. So we now have Ganjui. We have Captain John. And who was the other one that I was missing? Who was the other one that I'm missing? What if Don Marlin was a part of one of the rival gangs and Capone ended up taking him out? I wouldn't be surprised. With Capone becoming the big father. Stand corrected, I had to reread that chapter. Yeah, I had to go back through that too. Let me see, can you look at Rox's and Buggy's Wanted poster together? Oda can't keep getting away with this. So, Rox's Wanted poster has Rox with his hand in front, tongue sticking out the side. So now, let's pull up Buggy. And let's look at his Wanted poster. And Buggy has the exact same face, but he has an opposite hand. Huh.
What is it with some of these crazy people sticking their tongues out the side of their face? Okay, all right. I'll be stuck here reading comments all day, so now we need to do this. We need to do the synopsis. Don T, good to see you as well. Oda improving every previous arc these days. He really is. He really is. He was weak when the Sea Prism Stones were put on him in Udon. I mean, he was weak when he got beaten by Peckhams in Fishman Island, so... Let's see, I think Emu during the God Valley was just like, I'm gonna get rid of him and let's just erase him out of existence. This was 48 years ago, then we skipped to 44 years ago where they set off to seize a pirate island. Gilbaster, the gunner with 4 arms. I think Rox's bounty poster is reminiscent of Big Mom and Luffy's. I ain't giving that fraud any legitimacy. I like how Emu was just chill talking to Rox, but got PTSD when Joy Boy's hockey gets released. Exactly. Also, can we talk about the fact that Rox made his way into the inner sanctum of Emu? Rox made his way into Emu's private room in the center of Marie-Joie, which one would think would be the most secure location and most hard to get to location in the world, even more so than breaking into Impel Down. Rox wound up in there. He was in there. So, you guys know how we do. We always read the synopsis of One Piece. And once again, I am so glad I never got spoiled on anything that happened with today's chapter, because finding out that we saw more members of the Rox crew showed up. So, you guys know how we do here. Rox planned that out perfectly. I think like Blackbeard planned first, yet Emu didn't even flinch. He seems like he known too much and too strong to be a guy from a current timeline. So here's my thing though. He literally straight up looked at Emu and says like, I'll be back here again someday. I'll definitely come back here. Yeah, he not only did he kill an admiral at the Reverie, but he also made his way to Emu's private room in the same day. And the admiral later died. By Rox made his way, they say Rox is a Davy Jones fanboy. What if we found some stuff from connected to Davy Jones? So, real quick, let me go through this. Loki confirms that Rox and his crew are on Elbaf while he muses that this is the first time he's ever seen humans. Rox is surprised to learn that Loki is Harold's son and orders him to go home and have someone contact Harold to tell him that his son has been badly hurt. Also, we need to talk about his sword that can basically blast everything in its way. Is that an application of armament, hockey, and fusion? Or maybe Conqueror's emission? It remains to be seen, but his sword being able to blow everything away just from its mere strikes, that begs questioning as well. Let's see, have someone contact Harold to tell him that his son has been badly hurt, and he needs to come home at once. Loki refuses as he thinks Rox is weaker than him, and also believes he feels Harold wouldn't do something like that for him. Loki tries to attack Rox, but he easily blows him away as he has a reputation for blowing everything away with his sword like it was a hammer or a cannonball. Rox laughs at the injury he sustained Loki, saying he now has a legitimate reason to call him. At the reverie that Harold snuck into, Rox, who was there, caused a commotion not only by attacking and abducting 5 kings in attendance, but actually managed to reach the Room of Flowers and meet Emu, though this part was never mentioned. So here's my thing. Emu's existence. Oh snap, if you look at that room, Rox left his sword in that room. Look at that before and after. Oh, wait. If Rox left his sword, is that the same sword Emu was using to slice up Luffy and Blackbeard's wanted posters and then left it stabbed into Shirahoshi's? Is that Rox's sword that he left all this time? Sorry, we'll get back to this. I'll read what you guys said in a minute. Let's see. Rox's attempt to use the kings as bargaining chips failed as Emu expressed no care for them, and ultimately Rox left, but not before promising Emu that he would one day return to this very room. look at the handle of the sword. Hold on, because I'm trying to... Bruh, if you don't let me read the summary first, I know you want me to look at stuff, but if you don't let me look at stuff... Okay, I'm looking at it. Is there anything significant about his sword that I need to be paying attention to? Because we don't get like a big view on it. Also, there's actually, you know what? No, there couldn't have been a way for him to have, left his sword there for Emu because he clashed with Harold directly after. Sorry, I had to correct myself. So he didn't. His sword is still with him, and I'm looking at it. It's a big sword. It's not like a standard size sword too. It's like Odachi size. But I'm looking at it and I'm not seeing anything too noticeable because we get more detail on Harold's sword than we do with Rox's sword. And I'm looking at Rox while he's talking to Harold. I don't see his sword on his side. Nor do we get like a good view of Rox's side with his sword at all while he's, sitting on the food and talking to Harold. So I don't really see it all that well. Hold on. Yeah. Good looking out. Yeah, don't worry. I'll get myself some water after this. So real quick, let me get back to this. Rock's attempts to use the king as bargaining chips failed as Emu expressed no care for them, and ultimately Rox left, but not before promising Emu that he would one day return to this very room. So let me say this again. Emu, the most well-guarded secret in the history of the world government, and especially towards the Gorosei. Rox just casually shows up in there and goes, okay, you don't care about these kings? Fine, whatever, but I will be coming back in here. Do you realize how brazen you have to be to look at the ruler of the world and says like, oh yeah, I'm coming back to this room. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm coming back. So, continuing, at the same time, Harold was blamed for Rox's actions and being pursued through the Holy Land, still wondering how he got set on fire. Hey bro, I'm in the process of watching you read Solo Leveling and I had a question. Will you eventually read One Piece? Currently reading through it right now. You might, and you definitely may be a little bit new to how I do things on the channel. If this is your first time showing up to a live, then you should know, I'll let you know, I already have a playlist of me reading all of One Piece already. The entirety of One Piece from chapter 1 all the way to basically today's chapter. I got two playlists. One where I started reading and reacting to One Piece, which was like 828, I believe. Volume 82 of the series. And then I went back years later on and read from Volume 1 all the way to 81. So, yeah. I have long since thought about eventually reading One Piece, because it's pretty much what's made up the entirety of my channel. Well, half of it anyway. So yes, I have. Look at the title. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I've been reading One Piece for almost 10 years, bruh. Almost 10 years. Good Lord, I've been reading One Piece for almost 10 years. Okay. Sorry, I just had to address that. As Rox was fleeing, the both of them saw each other. Let's see. At the same time, Harold was blamed for Rox's actions and being pursued through the Holy Land. Still wondering how he got set on fire, though. As Rox was fleeing, the both of them saw another, and attacked. Harold doing so out of anger that Rox was making him take the fall for his actions, and Rox needing him out of his way. The clash of the two's haki ended up being so strong that it blew away anyone that was within 5 kilometers of them. So, hockey's strong, okay? Hockey is strong. After introducing each other, Rox advised Harold aim his next blow at the town, for if he is captured, he will be enslaved. Though confused, Harold did so, and the two continue running away with Rox telling him which way to go. Rox told Harold that if he survives, they should meet again as he literally jumps off the red line. But Harold refuses to associate him as he is a criminal. It was following that day that Rox became a notoriously wanted man due to his crimes, particularly fatally wounding an admiral that confronted him. Some time later, he attacked a world government ship carrying the heavenly tribute of the world nobles and destroyed the Gate of Justice. With the ship and money, Rox began his... Hold on. Let me finish this before y'all try to attack me and stuff. I want to read this whole synopsis first. Let me get it. With the ship and money, Rox began his pirate career participating in Davy back fights to win crew members, and by the time he had reached Elbaf, he had 6 powerful people under his banner, though at the time they weren't an official crew. Loki contacted Harold and was surprised, if not somewhat in disbelief, that he did indeed come home to see him. Please. I gotta block chat so I can finish reading the synopsis, because if I keep getting sidetracked by what you guys are saying, I can't focus. Loki contacted Harold and was surprised, if not somewhat in disbelief, that he did indeed come home to see him. But Harold had no idea that Loki tried to kill himself, and instead assumed he fell off a cliff and he should stay away from the underworld. Harold asks Rox why he's in Elbaf, and Rox tells him that he wants him to join his crew. Harold refuses, as he knows it will destroy the relations that he has built thus far, even though Rox tells him that as giants they can do whatever they please to avoid becoming a government dog, rather than try to say everyone is equal. Harold states that Elbaf is changing for the better now because Rox refutes this. Changing for the better now, but Rox refutes this, claiming that people's true nature never changes and that his bloodlust from his youth is still there. Harold tells Rox's crew that if they follow him, only disaster will wait for them. Shiki, back when he was a mobster, states that he has no loyalty to Rox and wouldn't care if he died. Miss Buchan, also known as the Science Robber, shares the sentiment, but also reveals that Rox has a plan to make everyone present rich. A West Blue gangster named Don Marlin asks Harold if he has heard of Hachinosu, most commonly known as Pirate Island. In the past, it was previously used to punish criminals that individual countries couldn't handle in their own prisons, and according to a young Edward Newgate, the island has no food and everyone sent there would eventually die. Ochoku, known as the Pirate Guru, Wang Ji, reveals that in recent years, the criminals sent there were able to build a settlement, which a smuggler named Gonzui explains is because they found a huge supply of gold on the island, and when various underground organizations found out, they helped mine the gold, allowing the criminals to turn a huge profit, which the world government is not happy about. Rox tells Harold that it is too difficult to get close to Hachinosu, so he made a deal with the world government to claim the island for them in exchange for fair payment. However, Rox has no intention to do that and only wants to take the island for himself so he can transform it into a pirate paradise, which later becomes a thing that his son puts into action. Rox declares that once Hachinosu is under his command, he'll destroy the Marines and burn the Holy Land, and then he'll fulfill his dream of becoming king of the world. Harold warns Rox that this plan will make him an enemy of said world, and it will be impossible. But Rox has faith he can do it, as he also believes no organization ever lasts forever, and he wants him to join his crew, believing his incredible strength will help him reach his goal. Harold still refused, but Loki, who overheard the conversation, became amazed by Rox's plan, coming to see him as his salvation. 4 years later, Rox's attempts to recruit Harold continuously failed, and by that time, Rox gave up as he had managed to amass a force powerful enough to take Hachinosu. Thus,
The Rocks Pirates were officially born. So, going through the chapter notes real quick. Qushu, I was watching a World of Tanks stream and someone asked the streamer face reveal when, even though the streamer had his webcam. And then the streamer said, sure, turning off and then turning on the webcam. There you go, bud. Is this why Blackbeard defeated Mario's whatever that warlord's name is? Do you mean Wang Ji? Do you think the reason why the world government built Impel down was because they lost Hachinosu? Like, man, they took it with a gold mine on it. I don't think they built Impel down because they couldn't get Hachinosu. Because Impel Down is a jail. That warlord from Thriller Bark. Gecko Moria? Is that what you're talking about? Gecko Moria? Let's see. I will say this much. At this time, Harold attended the reverie. Sakazuki was barely being recruited in the Marines. So unless another admiral had the Mago Mago no Mi. Interesting. If Davy Jones is really a real person and not a myth, maybe he was Joy Boy's rival, since Joy Boy is the very first person who became a pirate. Not the first person, but the first person who became a pirate. And Rox literally is a fan of Davy Jones. Let's see, I don't even think Blackbeard defeated him. He probably had his crew do it. Yeah, Moria doesn't seem like the type of individual that Blackbeard really needs to work really hard to defeat. Because remember, Moria got slashed through by Shiryu. And he couldn't even tell. But he knew that Shiryu had Absalom's devil fruit power. Or is Joy Boy's real name Davy Jones? Joy Boy and Davy Jones. That'd be funny. Oh, we better see Moria, Cohagen. I will say this much. Ozzy, you good? You good, Ozzy? It's not like you to repeat the same thing not twice, but 3 times. Everything okay? You good? Ghost touch, maybe? Yeah, Blackbeard said he was busy and had Shiryu and Katarina Devon do it. Yeah, Moria is not on Blackbeard's level. Not in terms of strength or prestige. Not even close. Also, speaking of Moria, that also seems known too much. The amount of Rock's members in his zombie army is crazy. Exactly. You want to know something funny? After he got beaten, you want to know what I think happened? After he got beaten by Kaido and lost all of his original crew, he thought, well, with my power, what if I raise the bodies of previous members of the Rocks Pirates who are all powerful in their own right? Then I'll be able to have a crew that is powerful enough to get revenge on Kaido. And what better way to have an army? What better way to have an army than being made up of the old crew of the Rocks Pirates? It's buffering on my end for some reason. Gotcha. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. If Thriller Bark is tied to God Valley, then no wonder the Gorosei wanted to execute him. And that pirate crew was censored by the government. Subject, yes, that is why I said, let me see. Also, speaking of Moria, yeah. Joy Boy and Davy Jones likely are clashing, fighting, and Davy Jones has his own crew just like Joy Boy. I honestly feel like Joy Boy and Davy Jones are 2 separate people, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were the first instance between the first iteration of, Rox and Roger, and then later Ace and Blackbeard. It would be funny if that was the case. You're good? Okay, good. That's all I wanted to know. I wanted to make sure that make sure that one of my moms was okay. But quickly through the chapter notes, because I'm getting close to about an hour now, so sorry for eating up so much of your time. Chapter notes. Loki confirms to Rox that they are indeed on Elbaf and mentions that he is Harold's son. When Loki reveals that Harold is at sea and refuses to call his father back, Rox injures Loki to force Harold to return. This was just a great chapter. Yeah, it was. And we're apparently going on break. It doesn't say that we're getting one tomorrow. It doesn't say anything about us getting one next week either. But
Are we going on break? If we are, hey, that's fine. Let Oda rest before he gets back in the kitchen to cook again. This man has a giant wok full of rice and he's just tossing it. And then when he's done, he just serves it to us. And then when we're done eating, he goes back in the kitchen and puts that wok to work again. Here's the question. When or who in the pirate industry knows something about the Void Century? It's hard to say. Not that many people have been that invested or even that interested in archaeology, save for Robin. I wouldn't be surprised if Blackbeard is kind of interested in it, but not many people. Going on break, yeah, no One Piece episode, but we'll be back next week. Oh, wait, wait a minute. There's no One Piece? You say episode. Wait, there's no One Piece episode today? Hold on. There's no One Piece episode today? Or were my eyes playing tricks on me? No, there isn't one today. I actually get a break. Oh, thank you. Thank God. Thank you. No One Piece episode, no recap either, just Toei taking a break. I can take a break as well. Oh, thank God. Okay, so here's the thing. I love it when I get breaks. I love it when I get breaks from anime so I can just relax on a Sunday. Thankful. All I have left is just Sakamoto days. Okay, full. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Genuinely thank you. You have no idea how much this makes my day so that I get to relax. I get to relax today. After I'm done with Sakamoto days, of course, but I get to relax. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But let's continue with the chapter notes. I'll say my final piece, and then I'll bring this to a close. If I got anyone who's new, who's watching me right now, thank you for tuning in. You didn't have to. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone to Jay the Legend. You could have gone to Roger's base if you haven't already. You could have gone to anyone, but you decided to be here. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in. But let's go ahead with the rest of the chapter notes. Rox is revealed to be an exceptionally powerful swordsman. During the reverie 8 years prior, Rox kidnapped 5 kings when he attacked. Amidst the chaos, Rox broke into the Room of Flowers and encountered Emu and their attendant Gunko. Wait, huh? That was Gunko. How did I miss that? That is literally Gunko. That was literally Gunko! How did I miss that? Same eyes! That was Gunko! I thought it was someone else, but I completely forgot that Gunko is essentially immortal. That was Gunko. How did that just flip over? That just went over my head. That was Gunko. That was Gunko the whole time. And she's in there with Emu, but she's not dressed up in her Holy Knights getup. She's dressed up in like this shawl over her head, and her face is still covered up, kind of like Ulti a little bit. No bandages, but it's an actual veil. That was Gunko. Gunko is Emu's attendant? Was this before she became a member of the Holy Knights or what? Said in the beginning of the chat, yeah, I didn't see that. Amidst the chaos, Rox broke into the Room of Flowers and encountered Emu and their attendant Gunko. Rox proclaimed himself as a worshipper of Davy Jones and promised Emu to return one day. Subject, I see you. You ain't got to put it in caps all the time. I can see you just fine. You're not the only one who missed that one? Yeah. Let's see. As Harold and Rox proclaimed himself a worshiper of Davy Jones and promised Emu to return one day. As Harold and Rox tried to escape Marijois, it is Marijois. They encountered each other and clashed briefly. Rox and Harold are both revealed to possess they both have, that is Conquerors. Apparently it is Conquerors. Because normally with armament, clashes aren't that big, but when it comes to, oh, that is Conquerors, because we have seen this type of burst before. when Roger and Whitebeard clashed, it blew back everybody on the island they were fighting on. And getting the description of their hockey caused everything in a 5-kilometer radius to be blown back. Here's the thing, I didn't want to assume, because I was looking at their weapons. I was looking at their weapons and I was trying to see, are their weapons touching each other? I was trying to see. I wanted to be sure. Because I didn't want to assume. Because it's so easy to assume that the moment you see some sparks of hockey, oh, this person has conquerors. We went through a whole stint of everyone says like, ugh, everyone has conquerors now because you keep saying this and you keep saying that. Not me specifically, but just moments. So I wanted to be safe and just so like it was a clash of maybe armament. But it looks like the both of them do in fact have conquerors, and their clash blew back everyone in a 5-kilometer radius. Okay, I just wanted to be sure. I just wanted to be sure. They didn't split the skies. No, they didn't. But still conquerors, though. So, eventually, Rox and Harold, let me speed this up. Eventually, Rox and Harold helped each other escape Marijwa. Afterwards, Rox received his bounty for killing a Marine admiral. He also pillaged a ship carrying the heavenly tribute towards Marijwa, during which Rox destroyed one of the gates of justice. One of the gates of justice, because you said there's more than one. Rox recruited his first crewmates from the Davy backfights. Back in Elbaf, Loki is shocked to find that Harold did return for him, and Harold invites Rox and his crew to his castle. Rox's crew at this point consisted of Edward Newgate, Shiki, Buckingham Stussy, Dunmarlin, Ochoku, and Ganzui. Rox repeatedly invites Harold to join forces to tear down the Holy Land and rule the world. While Harold refuses each time due to not wanting to destroy the good relations he has built, Loki is intrigued by Rox's offer. 4 years later, Rox would officially form the Rox Pirates. So here's the thing. Could you even see this guy? They aimed it differently. Yeah, they aimed it differently. See, for me, they were just clashing with each other. Just the clash itself. I mean, we didn't see the heavens split when Roger and Whitebeard clashed with each other during their final clash before Roger went off on his own with Odin. We didn't see the heavens split then. So you can have Conqueror's hockey clashes that don't part the heavens every single time. But here, we can confirm, once again, that Conqueror's hockey clashes are strong enough to blow back every... And you know what? Just for mathematics' sake, how big is 5 kilometers? 5 kilometers to miles. 5 kilometers to miles is 3.1 miles. Anything in a 3.1 mile radius was blown back by Harold and Rox. A mile is already long. 3 miles is already substantial. So everything in a 3-mile radius was blown back from them just clashing with each other. Conqueror's hockey clashes are scary when you think about it. If you ever get 2 Conqueror's hockey users in a construction crew, they'll be phenomenal with clearing out entire areas. I'm just saying, the construction crew potential is there. You can walk a mile in 20 minutes. Yes, you can walk a mile in 20 minutes. So Gunko is older than the Shanks twins. It would stand to reason that Gunko is way older than Shanks due to the fact that this could be the time when she was already immortal by Imu being his attendant and all, and she kept that immortality. That's several city blocks. Exactly, several city blocks. That's another good comparison. Conqueror's hockey clashes are just crazy. I mean, we've already seen an entire island being hit by the power of Whitebeard and Roger. An entire island and the Moby Dick itself and the oceans outside of the island were affected by this clash between the two. Only hockey can transcend all, including anything that resembles, AoE attacks. But overall, this was a very good story. This was a very good chapter today. I remember Queen and the Beast Pirate fodder reaction when Big Mom and Kaido were clashing. She was around when Brook was alive, which was when he was younger than 38 because that's the age he died. Yeah, so here's my thing. Are we going to continue to get more history of the Rox Pirates in the next chapter? Because if we're going on break here, the anime is going on break, will we continue to see more of the Rox Pirates that would eventually lead to the moment where we see Harold being stabbed by all of his men? How did Brooke get into the picture with Gunko? Maybe she was born in Marijwa but got thrown out and was put in a box. Gunko grew up in a pirate crew but then come back again to Marijwa and Imu brainwashed Gunko. I don't see how you can come back to Marijois. Because Doflamingo tried to come back after offering up his father's head, and they told him that he was trash, and they kept him out. When you leave Marijois, unless you're someone of significant name and prestige, you ain't coming back just because and being accepted back. Got a feeling Brooke's gonna have a say-so when Loki talked about his past and with Blackbeard. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna search for the playlist right now. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. It's right there on the channel. Just simply go to the playlist. I got the chapter volumes 1 all the way to 81, and then it has the other chapters of me basically reacting to One Piece from when I first started on YouTube. So it's gonna look old, it's gonna look outdated, it's gonna look very, very amateurish, but that's what I've been doing this entire time. So please, by all means, enjoy it. Enjoy it. I got the entirety of One Piece on this channel, so please enjoy. Shanks did, but he didn't like it. Yeah, Shanks, because his family name was so prestigious. Literally, the Figureland family. I mean, Rock's not Blackbeard since Gunko's in the picture. I think we're done with Rock since he's sailing away and it looks like the end of the volume. We'll have to see. All right, let me tie it up. We've already gone an hour. Thank you for being patient with me. What is with all these emu pictures and on Twitter, Oda revealing emu soon? I think it's because they created, the merch team for One Piece created an entire emu plushie, and people have just been taking pictures of emu in every corner of the globe. Everywhere. Emu is just everywhere. But one ominous one was the fact that emu was literally sitting in Oda's chair in his office. That was a lot more concerning than any other photo of the emu plushie on the internet I've ever seen. Because how did the plushie get in Oda's office of all places? So, yeah, I feel like Oda might be doing something for emu in the future. I don't know if they're trying to tease something. Maybe I'm just speaking out of my neck here, but if an emu plushie is in his office, Oda cooking in the kitchen, let him cook. Hey, I'm not going to assume. I feel like I enjoy One Piece best when I don't try to assume the next thing the chapter is going to have, which is probably the reason why I don't do a whole lot of theory videos on One Piece, because I just let my mind run wild until we get the next chapter, and then we talk about it during the chapter. There's a reason why I don't do a whole bunch of theory stuff, because I just let Oda cook. So that way I don't have an assumption about what's going to happen next. Maybe a theory here or there, small ones, just a little itty-bitty one, but not too much. Gives me hope the silhouette is going to be pretty one-to-one. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Emu is everywhere, even in Australia. This was a solid chapter. Yes, it was, and I've already tied up so much of your time already. It's already been an hour and 7 minutes. I got to get started with Sakamoto Days, and then I get to rest today. I'll probably get back on Death Stranding and continue to work on the roads. I almost have all the roads built in Australia, so that's going quite well. But, ladies and gentlemen, you have been such an amazing, awesome, incredible, fantastic, spectacular audience for tuning in and watching me react to One Piece. This chapter was very good, but it looks like we're going on break, which means that the next chapter we get of One Piece will be next month. We're about to go into August. That just dawned on me. We're about to go into August. And August, getting through August, Borderlands will be in September. Oh, can't wait. But thank you for tuning in, everybody. It means the world to me. Your support towards this channel as this channel continues to grow means the world to me. And I just want to say thank you for everything. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Good stream.